A giant has fallen. Camilla Tominey's heartbroken farewell to a true Fleet Street legend. Sometimes, a piece of news doesn't just break, it shatters. It hits you with the force of a physical blow, leaving you breathless, scrambling to make sense of a world that suddenly feels emptier. For GB News star Camilla Tominey, and for so many across the landscape of British journalism, that moment arrived with the devastating news of Martin Townsend's passing. This isn't just a professional loss. This is a personal, visceral, and heartbreaking goodbye. In a statement that felt less like a public announcement and more like a raw cry of grief, Camilla, a celebrated broadcaster and columnist in her own right, poured her heart out for her dear friend and mentor. Martin Townsend, the veteran journalist and legendary former editor of the Sunday Express, died at 65 from pancreatic cancer. And with him, it feels, a whole era of journalism has died too. Camilla's words cut straight to the bone, painting a portrait of a man who was more than just a boss or a colleague. He was a guiding light. "Journalism has lost a giant and a gentleman," she wrote, and in that single sentence, she captured the profound duality that made Martin Townsend so special. The giant, a maverick who broke the biggest stories. Let's be honest. In the cutthroat, high-stakes world of news, you can be a giant without being a gentleman. You can be a maverick editor and an unparalleled scoop-getter. Both terms Camilla used to describe him, by stepping on people, by being ruthless, by caring only for the headline. That wasn't Martin Townsend. Yes, he was a giant. His resume speaks for itself. He helmed the Sunday Express for an incredible 17 years, a tenure that is almost unthinkable in today's volatile media world. He'd also headed up Oak magazine and served as show business editor at U Magazine. This was a man who lived and breathed news. He had an instinct, a nose for news, that others could only envy. He was the man who broke one of the biggest royal exclusives of the century, the first reports of Prince Harry's relationship with Meghan Markle. He was, as Camilla perfectly stated, a creative genius. But it's the second part of her tribute that truly defines his legacy. He was a gentleman. He also wrote like a dream, Camilla shared, reminding us that he wasn't just an editor sending others into the trenches. He was a craftsman of the highest order. He cared deeply about his readers and always had the courage of his convictions. Think about that. In a world of spin and shifting narratives, he had the courage to stand by his beliefs. He cared about the person reading the paper over their breakfast. That integrity, that passion, is a rare and beautiful thing. The mentor, the man who built careers and changed lives. But for Camilla, this loss is so much deeper than the passing of a respected colleague. This is the man she credits with so much of her own journey. "I have lost a dear friend and mentor, to whom I owe so much," she confessed, her gratitude palpable even in her grief. This is the side of Martin Townsend that the public rarely sees. He was, in her words, a formidable talent spotter who nurtured more careers than he ever cared to mention. He wasn't a king jealously guarding his throne. He was a kingmaker, selflessly building an empire of talent, lifting others up, and taking joy in their success. And the love, it's now heartbreakingly clear, was mutual and deep. In a reply that will bring tears to your eyes, Martin's wife, writer Jane O'Gorman, responded directly to Camilla's tribute, completing the circle of love and respect. "Thank you for your lovely words, Camilla. He adored you too, and was so proud of everything you do XX. He adored her. He was proud of her." That right there is the definition of a mentor. Someone who doesn't just teach you the ropes but who champions you, cheers for you, and beams with pride as you fly. The bond they shared was real, it was deep, and it's why this loss cuts so profoundly. The man, ties, and Chelsea FC. Beyond the deadlines and the datelines, who was the man behind the legendary name? Camilla, in her beautiful tribute, gave us a glimpse, painting a picture so vivid you can almost hear the record player in the background. This was not a sterile, corporate editor. This was a man of passion, intellect, and wonderful, quirky habits. He was a man who read countless books, watched an enormous amount of telly, and drank endless cups of tea, the record player always on in the background. He was a man who appreciated the finer things, who had a sense of style and self, a love of ties, fountain pens, leather brogues, and of course at Chelsea FC. He was old school cool, a man of taste and substance. And perhaps most tellingly, he was one of the funniest people I have ever met. In the high-pressure cooker of a newsroom, where stress is the daily special, a leader who can make you laugh is a godsend. It's the glue that holds a team together. It's the sign of a friendship built on more than just work. The true legacy, championing mental health before it was fashionable. But if you want to know the true measure of Martin Townsend's character, it lies in what Camilla shared next. He championed better mental health before it was fashionable. Let that sink in. Long before "it's okay not to be okay" became a public slogan, long before it was safe or brave to talk about mental health, Martin Townsend was already there. In an industry often defined by a tough-it-out mentality, he was a voice of compassion and vulnerability. He didn't just talk the talk. He wrote an incredible book about his late father, which won an Admin Charity Award. The book, The Father I Had, was a raw, powerful, and courageous account of his experience growing up with a father who suffered from bipolar disorder. He took his own pain and experience and used it to light a path for others, to help spark a conversation that was desperately needed. This perhaps was his greatest courage of conviction. It's one thing to break a royal scoop. It's another entirely to break the stigma surrounding mental illness. Thank you for everything, NT. The support that is poured in is a testament to the man he was. Martin was a great man and a superb journalist, wrote one commenter. Lovely and beautiful were the words used to describe Camilla's perfect, aching tribute. A giant is gone. A gentleman has left the building. A husband, a friend, a mentor, and a father figure to so many has been lost. But his legacy isn't just in the papers he edited or the stories he broke. It's in the careers he built. It's in the people he championed. It's in the courage he showed, both in print and in his personal life. And it's in the deep, abiding love he inspired in those lucky enough to know him. Camilla Tominey's final words say everything that needs to be said. I'm so grateful to have had him in my life and shared so many laughs. I loved him so much and will miss him terribly. Thank you for everything, NT. Rest in peace.